Jamin. I gotta hand it to you. Normally, whenever you live stream videos made about you and you counter and destroy them, usually you're on point and at the top of your game. However, when you try to do the same thing to my video, my man, you failed. And you failed miserably. And the saddest part is, that initial video I made was merely a warm-up. You couldn't even effectively counter and destroy my warm-up video. Since you couldn't even properly commentate over my warm-up video, I shudder to think how you're going to handle this one. School is officially in session, son. I may very well have to upload this in multiple parts, because there's just so much shit that he said to dissect. I may also upload a full uncut version to Blip, and if I do, I'll put the link to that in the description of all portions of the video. From the word go, you stumbled and fumbled obliviously down the path to fail. I mean, I knew exactly what to expect, and that I was in for a side-splittingly hilarious watch the moment I saw this.
Yes, I did see that video that exposed me just because I blocked the guy. I just love it when these people think just because you block them, they've won some kind of prize or they've owned someone. Maybe I just blocked you because you're a fucking idiot. Simple as that. I made a guy spend 6 minutes on how he exposed me just because I took not even a second of my life to block him.
Roll the footage. But I'm sure he'll also fall back on that clockwork defense mechanism of ridiculing me for dedicating time to making a video about him, which would be fucking idiotically ironic of him to do. Yep, you did exactly what I said you would do. Damn, I'm good. There ain't no better way to mind fuck somebody than to outright predict what weapons they're going to pull out and attempt to use. And remember that part where I said it would be idiotically ironic of you to attempt that tactic? Let's see here. How many minutes exactly did you dedicate to Gligar13vid's video about you? Oh, that's right. 57 minutes. Almost an entire fucking hour. How about the Elite Casual Gamer? 46 minutes. Mystery Oven Thing? 41 minutes. How about Tidal Wave? About 22 minutes. What about Solid Mario? Nearly 18 and a half minutes. How about 3 kilobytes? A total of 27 minutes between 2 videos. The list goes on and on and on, and I'm not even including your live stream debates and video commentaries. Now, don't get this in any way twisted. I'm not judging, ridiculing, or criticizing you for dedicating time to other people over the internet. It's fun to do. I know it is. It's fun to expose other people's idiocy, catch them in lies, make them counter themselves, watch them stumble over their own words, and just outright intellectually obliterate them. However, what I find downright fucking hilarious is whenever somebody turns their eye towards guys like you, Black Bond, and Humpmaster Flex, to name a few, regardless of whether that individual's criticism is legit or not, you all fall back on that go-to pre-programmed defense mechanism of, I made that clown dedicate X amount of minutes of his time to me. So by your own faulty logic, every single individual you've ever made a video on made you dedicate your time to them. Basically what I'm saying is every time you try to throw that grenade, it ends up exploding in your hand, and for some strange reason, you don't even realize it, regardless of the fact that you're missing a hand. As far as you only blocking me because you thought I was an idiot, yeah, you kind of sort of failed to prove that one, Brain Trust. You might be able to pass that lie onto yourself and the American people, but I ain't buying that shit. If I was such an idiot, as you so claim, to paraphrase you, wouldn't that make me easy to own? So why didn't you do it? Instead, you took the cowardly bitch's way out. Which, by the way, this is going to end up biting you in the ass later, as I will clearly show, so you won't have to put that point in the corner should you so decide to commentate on this. Also, about that prize thing, exposing your overall butthurt-induced inability to counter factual criticism made against you to the point that you have to block me, and the fact that you didn't actually look into my history before labeling me as a sock account, as well as show you off to be a hypocrite that doesn't practice what he preaches? Yeah, I do consider all that to be a pretty sweet prize. Not just a prize, but a gigantic trophy. I made that video to expose all of that, not just because you blocked me as you so claim. All this fail, and we haven't even gotten into you commentating over my video yet. So let's see how else you're going to fuck up, shall we?
Alright, this is the video, guys. The whole video is just him showing that he's blocked on my channel, so we don't really have to show the video per se and just play the audio, but I'll just put it down there because I haven't watched it all the way through. I skipped through it, and that's all the video is, so it's just audio only, really.
Wait, so let me see if I've got this shit straight. You didn't even bother to watch the video in its entirety from start to finish before claiming to know what it was about, how it was structured, why I was making it, and even before trying to attack it? No fucking wonder you dropped the ball so hard. You pretty much went into this video deaf, dumb, and blind. Maybe if you had actually watched the video before commenting on it, this wouldn't have happened.
I made a guy spend 6 minutes on how he exposed me just because I took not even a second of my life to block him.
You know, usually I don't do this, but this was just too delicious to pass up.
All this just because I blocked him. All because I blocked him. That's it. And this goes on for 6 minutes just because I blocked him.
Yep, repeat that same lie over and over again till people think it's true. That's not the only reason I made the video, and not the only thing I talk about in the video, as you yourself will show as you watch it live for all to see. Uh, for the past couple of days, I've been calling the BlackBusterCritic on some really hypocritical and shameful shit. He recently announced that he's become gainfully employed at Electronic Arts, not only one of the worst gaming companies as well as companies in general, but a company he has had a history of being very vocal and critical of. As you can
Oh, here we
see
go. It
here,
does change.
he made a video just... Wow, no shit? You could have found that out for yourself by watching the video before streaming it instead of letting your own willful ignorance do the talking for you. 2 months ago, criticizing EA for their shitty business practices. He even said in the description and in the video itself to boycott EA. This is an individual who has been so against these companies and their business practices, yet now has become employed by one of the ones he was the most critical of.
And let's bring me back. What does me being employed by them have to do with what I said? I said, don't buy their games. I said, I don't like their business practices. What does that have to do with me working for them? What does that have to do with them paying me to work a job? What does that have to do with anything? It doesn't. It's a job.
And as I said before on that video you deleted, yeah, it's a job with a terrible company who at one point you called for people to boycott. Logically, if you're against a company and the way they do business so much that you wish others to boycott them, the last thing you'd want to do is become employed with them. That is, unless said company threw enough money and perks at you to make you drop everything that you once stood for, right? There's even a term for that. It's called selling out. Now let me ask you this. Do you still want people to boycott EA? Because I'm pretty sure people boycotting a company that employs you would not serve your best interest at all. So you either no longer want people to boycott them, going against everything you stood for and claim to still stand for, or you still want people to boycott them, thus putting your own job position in jeopardy and showing that you don't care as much about your real-life success as you claim. So which one is it? I'd really like to know.
I just can't believe these people, and especially people, some of the X-bots and some of the people who follow Zaire, they're talking shit about me working for EA, about me having a damn job. And let's just go off on a tangent real quick. Let me read something to you guys. Because one of Zaire's followers, he blocked me earlier today because he was being a dumbass. I exposed his ass, and he got butthurt about it.
That ass of yours should be feeling a sharp pinch right about now, as well as showing some slight teeth marks. It's funny how you call somebody else butthurt because they blocked you because you exposed them. Damn, that sounds awfully familiar. I also find it funny that you took the time to expose somebody else who is criticizing you for roughly the same thing as I am. Except with me, you didn't even attempt it. Probably because I did it more intelligently, i.e. better than the individual you exposed, which I'm not one bit surprised by that. After all, it was a fan of Zaire. I wouldn't really expect much from a fan of that Cro-Mag. Now, I'm going to skip around a tad because he's basically talking about the fan of Zaire that he exposed, and the majority of that has no relevance to me. I'm only going to commentate over the stuff that applies to me or what I'm saying about him here.
But yeah, this follower of Zaire was doing the same shit that this guy is doing on the video regarding me actually working.
So once again, if you exposed and owned him for doing the same thing you claim I'm doing, why didn't you attempt to expose and own me just the same? I'll go ahead and answer that for you, because you couldn't due to everything I said being factual. The incorrect sock puppet accusation was your easy way out. Time for some more skipping.
But at the same time, you're fucking criticizing me having a stable and beneficial job. You're criticizing me for having a stable and beneficial job. Are you fucking serious?
I love how you conveniently ignore that factual detail that this stable and beneficial job is with a company you once told people to boycott. I've pretty much already addressed this, so feel free to refer to that earlier portion where I do so. Next.
Why do you give yourself the right to criticize my job and call it shitty? Don't I have the right to work wherever I like? Don't I have the right to work at a job that has great pay, great benefits and perks, lets me work from home, and also allows me to pay tuition, and allows me to attend a university full time? Get the fuck out of here, clown.
As a free citizen of the United States of America, yes, you do have the right to have such a job. But on the other side of that coin, it's my right to call bullshit on you for seeking said employment from a company you've told people to boycott. You just continue to sidestep that, don't you? Like I said before, when the facts don't support you, you pretend like they don't exist. I also love how you're going to sit there and pretend like you couldn't have gotten a more honorable job with a better company with good perks of their own that wouldn't have caused you to forcefully insert your foot into your mouth with the amount of work experience you have in various other fields. Get the fuck out my face with that shit, son. You must think audience members like me are that fucking stupid that we can't see right through this little ruse you're putting on. Skipping once more.
This little bitch, Brandon Heston, attacks me, gets his ass hurt, and then blocks me. And so I posted, oh my, where did all Brandon's comments go? LMFAO, bitch blocking little cunt. Got your ass handed to you so you run away and block people like the bitch you are. Thanks for exposing yourself, clown. Good thing I saved the page before you blocked me.
Now that ass of yours should be feeling a strong and painful piercing sensation, with probably some blood as well running down your legs. Irony. Look it up. And now he finally gets back on task and continues to address my video.
Okay, anyway, let's go back to the video now.
Does that make any sense to you? It shouldn't if you have a functioning cerebral cortex.
Actually, also regarding this guy, he says that he's been doing this for several days. I had no clue of this. I saw him in one of my videos. Obviously, it's a sock puppet account, so I fucking blocked him for being a dumbass. But according to him, he's been doing this for a couple days.
Okay, either I've been doing it for several days or I've been doing it for a couple of days. Which is it? I said a couple of days, and that's exactly what I meant. 2 fucking days. Several means more than 2. Look up the word for yourself if you don't believe me. Also, I asked you twice to prove that I was a sock account, and you didn't do it because you couldn't do it. Text. But of course, as you can see here, he tries.
Let me make this bigger for myself so I can see it. There we go.
Horribly to defend himself by damage controlling and saying it's just a job and that his own life and success is more important than sending a message to these companies that we're not going to take their bullshit.
Yes, my livelihood in real fucking life is a lot more important than the shit that I do on the fucking internet. And why is this a fucking problem? I'm not damage controlling myself. I'm just telling you, it's a fucking job. The fuck are you giving me shit for because I have a fucking job? I'm not going to let what people think on the internet dictate who I fucking work for, what benefits I get. The fuck is wrong with these people?
Man, oh man, your ass hurtins is really blossoming at this point. Seems like I've hit a nerve. I've got news for you, my boy. You are, in fact, damage controlling yourself because you continue to leave out that little detail that you now work for a company that just 2 fucking months ago you were calling for people to boycott. Do you really not see this? Or are you just fucking playing dumb and thinking nobody will see right through you? So are you honestly going to sit there and fucking try to tell me that telling people to boycott them over the internet somehow doesn't apply to real life? I'm pretty goddamn sure that it's people's real money that you're trying to convince said people to not spend on EA. You're going to sit there and try to convince people that they shouldn't spend any of their money on EA in real life, yet I guess to you that only applies on the internet, and that in your real life you can just throw that shit out the window and do as you please for yourself, right? So basically, I guess you were never serious in your convictions for boycotting EA. Because if you were, you sure as fuck wouldn't be working for them. It's so goddamn simple, yet that shit just flies right over your head. That, or you actually do get it, but since it makes you look bad, you play dumb and try to damage control in order to save face, knowing the majority of your audience, made up of fanboys, will fall for that shit hook, line, and sinker and erroneously defend you to their dying, slobbering, mouth-breathing breath. And that is fucking horrendous and shameful. So basically what it boils down to is that he merely talks the talk, but when it comes time to do some walking, oh, he can't do it.
So evidently, according to this guy, working for EA is the same as buying their games and putting money in their pocket. That's the same thing. Them sending me thousands of dollars of equipment and them giving me free games and paying me to work a job is the same as buying their games.
Really? Is that what I fucking said? No, I don't believe it is. I didn't even remotely imply that either. So now you've stooped to the desperate level of putting words in my mouth and creating meanings behind what I said that aren't fucking there. I seem to remember when the Elite Casual Gamer tried to do that very same thing to you, and you shut that shit down quick, fast, and in a hurry. You're supposed to know better. Yet here you are, basically doing what he did to your Cancer That Is Killing Gaming video with my video. Let me explain something to you. What you failed to realize is that there are other ways of supporting a company other than buying their products and putting money in their pockets. And I can't believe I have to fucking spoon feed this to you of all people, but working for said company is one of those ways. I'll go ahead and further break it down for you, Barney style, so you don't have any more excuses to play dumb. It's called mutual benefit. They pay you for the labor service you provide to them. Said labor helps the company continue to function in an efficient and productive manner. Helping said company continue to function in an efficient and productive manner helps keep the company alive. Helping keep the company alive also translates into helping the company continue to develop and enforce bad business practices. That's pretty much what I was going to post as a response to that fanboy fool Abaddon before I realized you cowardly blocked my ass. Now, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll admit if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn you said that your job at EA was technical support and troubleshooting stuff that's wrong with customers' games. So not only are you aiding and abetting in keeping the company running at a smooth pace, but you're also helping them keep their already loyal customer base, which shoots a great big giant hole in that idea of boycotting them. Hell, it wouldn't even matter if you were an unpaid intern working in the damn mailroom. You would still be contributing to the efficiency of the company, thus allowing them to create business practices and models to fuck over gamers. Seriously, you can't be this stupid, which is why I believe you're fully aware of this, but you don't care because they've put you in a good position in real life. Thus exposing himself as a hypocritical shitbird of a YouTuber, and I call him out on it. His response? That I'm a sock account. So not only does he sidestep the factual smackdown...
Look at this guy. Look at him. He's showing everybody that all he does is fucking damage control for Xbox shit. Look! This is the point he's making.
Wow. Fucking wow. Can I ask, what's happened to the real BlackBusterCritic? Huh? Where's he at? Can we get him to commentate on my video? Because this sloppy, clown-nosed pretender ain't getting the job done and is making himself look like a fucking laughingstock. Since you didn't even bother to read the actual comments and instead went solely off the fucking video thumbnails, allow me to elaborate on the content of the comments themselves for you and expose you yet again. That comment I left on your video, that was me giving you a link to a video made by Razorfist where he was ranting about people bashing the Xbox One after its first reveal conference. Additionally informing you that he exposed himself in the comment section of that video where he admitted that he was about to do the same fucking thing he was ranting and raving about others doing, and that this incident would have been great material for one of your live streams. So tell me, boy wonder, how in the blueberry fuck does that translate into me damage controlling for Xbox shit? Or better yet, how's about the comment I left on the 7th Levels video, where I pointed out that his review of a single game was fucking garbage because it included lies, misinformation, contradictions, and showed that he barely even played the game for an hour before he reviewed it. Yet that somehow means I'm damage controlling Microsoft, you dumb fuck. Or how about that comment I left on Razor's Fist's video where I said all I was seeing people do was attack how he said what he said about people bashing the Xbox One rather than attack the fact that he exposed himself as a hypocrite in the comments section. Is that somehow me damage controlling the Xbox? Or hell, go to my feed and scroll up to see me getting into a long-ass argument with an idiot over the fucking Last of Us, a goddamn PS3 game, as well as BioShock Infinite, which is a multi-plat. Two fucking topics that have nothing to do with Microsoft whatsoever. But nope, all I do is damage control for Microsoft, you dumb son of a bitch. You're making this shit too easy for me, and I really expected more from you. Of his own fallacy, he makes out-the-ass claims about myself without any proof whatsoever. I ask him to prove that I'm a sock puppet account, clarifying that I've only made a comment on a single video of his, not including the one that's deleted, and that said comment was actually a positive one. Here is the video and that comment that I left on it.
I don't care about any other comments he makes. Why is this important? The dude made a 6-minute video over nothing.
Yeah, because you showing that you were speaking from the hole in your ass when you claimed that I was a sock puppet account was nothing, right? If that's what's going to help you sleep at night, then by all means, continue to convince yourself of that. Mr. Factual Research here could have easily clicked on my channel name, looked at my feed, and see this for himself before he vomited sock puppet accusations on the keyboard and posted it. But he didn't, and thus he failed to back up his faulty claim. Not only that, I further clarify that I'm actually a fan of his, as shown here. I also left a comment on the discussion portion of his channel, not only pointing out his sidesteppery, but also asking him again to prove that I'm a sock account.
I'm not interested in proving whether or not a faceless fucking new account on YouTube is a sock puppet or not. A sock puppet account is an account that's faceless. It's got nothing but fucking comments. That's what it's made for. It's an extra account to leave comments with. That's what a sock puppet is. It's an expendable account that people can use to just make their comments with.
Oh, really? Is that what a sock puppet is? Let's see here. A sock puppet is an online identity used for the purposes of deception. How was I using that account for deception when I had made a positive comment on one of your videos as well as made comments on other videos? Now pay special attention to this part, fucknuts. The term, a reference to the manipulation of a single hand puppet made from a sock, originally referred to a false identity assumed by a member of an internet community who spoke to or about himself while pretending to be someone else. So once again, please tell me who I was pretending to be. What identity am I hiding exactly? So am I now being led to believe that you don't know the very definitions of the terms you fucking use? Sloppy shit, Mr. I only speak the facts. Hell, let's say hypothetically that my first account was a sock puppet account. Even though it wasn't, but for the sake of argument, bear with me. How would me being a sock account counter, disprove, and invalidate anything that I said? It wouldn't. It was just all part of that sidestepping you were doing. And it's awfully convenient that you say you don't care about backing up your claim that I was a sock puppet account. I could have sworn whenever anybody has made factually inaccurate claims about anything, you've asked them to prove said claims. Yet now that I've backed you into that same corner, your response is, I don't care to prove it. Just more proof of what I said, that the facts aren't in your favor. You pretend like they don't exist. Not only did he not do this, but the comment got deleted. Furthermore, as I showed in the beginning, I go to comment on one of his fanboys / white knighters' idiotic logic, and I see this. BBC has blocked me from his channel. Guess it's not so fun when the shoe's on the other foot, is it, Jamin?
I don't really know what he's referring to.
Well, then let me help you out so you can better understand it. As I said in that video before you stopped it, I said you could dish it out, but you sure as fuck can't take it. And that's pretty much true. You going after somebody that was doing the same thing as I was, according to you, and mocking them for blocking you just further shows that. Unlike the other individual you exposed, I went after you in a way that you could not factually counter. So the only options you had left to work with were sidestepping, saying I was a sock account, and blocking me. All things that you regularly expose others of doing. Yeah, shoe on the other foot.
But just like a person that makes sock puppet accounts, guess what? He made another account to leave comments with. Just like every other retard out there that has sock puppet accounts.
Okay. How does that prove my original was a sock account? And according to the definition of sock puppeting that I already showed, it's only a sock account to circumvent a ban. There's still no deception or fake identities involved, seeing as how I'm identifying myself as the same person you blocked. You can attack that new account I made all you want. It doesn't disprove the facts regarding my original account. You can dish it out, which I still admire you for, by the way, but you'll be damned if you'll take it. Like I said on that comment that's now been deleted, it's funny now that the facts don't support you. Not only do you ignore it like it doesn't exist, you actually try to hide it.
Or I just block sock puppet accounts because I want people to post on their original accounts.
Newsflash, genius, that was my original account. Jesus, pole dancing Christ, boy. Why else would I ask you to prove your claim if that wasn't my original account? Hello? Anybody home up there? Guess not. I recently decided to put up a channel icon. Does that make it better? Does that make me not a sock puppet according to your own falsified definition? Time to skip ahead very slightly, because all he does is reaffirm his own ignorance about me being a sock puppet and talking about a fuckstick by the name of Top Gunna. You've officially been exposed as a shameful hypocrite that doesn't practice what he preaches, and as a butthurt individual who can't take factual criticism. Now, I'm sure he'll try to damage control this further, not only continuing to say that his real life is more important than what people think about him on the internet.
Which is true.
But I'm sure he'll also fall back on that clockwork defense mechanism of ridiculing me for dedicating time to making a video about him, which would be fucking idiotically ironic of him to do, and taking the internet. Laugh it up, my man. Because that's the only thing you can do in response to that. You sure as hell can't deny the fact that I handed you a magazine full of blank rounds, told you it was full of blank rounds, yet you loaded it into your weapon anyway and tried to fire at me like that was going to do a damn thing. Even better, you didn't even hear me tell you that because you didn't even bother to watch the video before live streaming it, and you ended up looking like a bumbling fool by falling back on that tired tactic when you could have easily prevented it. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Too seriously. And to that I say, what would you say to that if I said this to your face in real life? Because you bet your ass I would.
What would you say if I said this to your face in real life? Now we're getting some deep shit here, guys.
No, there's no deep shit here at all. There's not a swinging dick or split tail on this planet that I fear any kind of repercussion from due to exposing them, whether it's over the internet or in real life. It doesn't matter to me because I conduct myself the exact same way on both. That was the point I was making to preemptively counter that other defense mechanism you and others like to use of, oh, it's just the internet. You take the internet too seriously. I've made people so butthurt in real life that they wanted to physically fight me. And even if these people would have kicked the ever-loving cowboy shit out of me, I wouldn't care because that wouldn't invalidate what I said and wouldn't change the facts.
So evidently, him saying shit to my face in real life is some real shit. But oh no, I can't use real life as an excuse to work a fucking job, right? What the fuck? He's more important in real life than my own financial stability in real life.
What? How does what you said have any relevance whatsoever to me saying I would say everything I said in a video to your face? Obviously, if I'm going to call bullshit on somebody over the internet, I'm going to call that same bullshit to them to their face in real life as well. So how does that translate into me being more important than your real life financial stability? Does not fucking compute, you foolish jester. Oh, and I hate repeating myself, but it has to be made known yet again. You're working a job for a company you've told people to boycott, and that makes no fucking sense whatsoever unless you've sold out to them. If this were a job with a company you haven't exposed to be terrible, or that actually isn't terrible, and you got those same perks, there'd be no issue. Like I said, you had to have known exactly what you were getting yourself into and what kind of can of worms you were opening by accepting this position with Electronic Arts. But since those perks were so good for you, you didn't care and thus exposed yourself to be a selfish individual that doesn't practice what he preaches. Plain and simple. And I wouldn't give two shits how you reacted. It doesn't matter to me if it's the internet or real life.
I don't care whether people say it on the internet or real life. People mean what they mean and say what they want to say regardless of the medium as what they use. Whether it be their own voice, the internet, the sound waves traveling from one mouth to an ear to the other, through the air molecules, it doesn't matter. People's words are what their words are. This fool here.
Is that why, on quite a few occasions, you mock others for taking the internet too seriously? Hell, I'll give you an example right now. Remember when you told the mystery oven thing in your video about him where you thought it was time for him to get off the internet because he said he wanted to punch you because of your overall attitude? His initial video being full of horrific fail notwithstanding, that was a part you flubbed up on because you fell back on that tired go-to defense mechanism like it being the internet makes a single iota of a fucking difference. What you could have said was that it was time for him to put the controller down because it was painfully obvious that it was gaming and gaming platforms he was taking too seriously. not the internet. It being over the internet had no bearing at all with how he felt about what you were saying. That's why I said, what would you say to that response of taking the internet too seriously if I said this to you in real life? Would you be like, wow, you're taking real life too seriously? Yeah, didn't think so. So why do people like you continue to use that stupid retort? I regularly expose people on both all the time. Hell,
He regularly exposes people on real life. On the internet and on real life. I gotta get that title. I wonder what platform he's playing that on.
I wish I could actually counter any of this, but unfortunately I can't. Why? Because I have not the faintest fucking clue about what he's talking about. It just sounds like incoherent marble-mouthed rambling to me. If anybody who was in that live stream knew what he was talking about, or BBC himself, go ahead and leave a comment explaining it to me, because I'd really like to know. However, based on what he's already given me thus far, I'd be willing to bet a large stack of chips that it won't be worth anything. I even regularly expose my own girlfriend of 4 years. I've been doing what you...
Well, if she's your girlfriend, then she's got to be exposed.
Irrelevant rambling that doesn't make a counterpoint or argument, and thus nothing but useless spam. Again, I thought you would have known better. Since 2003, my boy. I was a troll before trolling became the internet equivalent of, I'm just kidding. You see?
And so now he's going through his trolling credentials. I've been trolling since 2003. Yeah.
Kind of like what you regularly do when you list off all the people you've owned and exposed. Yeah, so it's perfectly A-okay for you, yet when somebody else does it, you see it as a point of ridicule? Hell, you even proclaimed yourself as the best duelist in the world in your recent little back-and-forth exchange with Review Tech USA. Now granted, that resume of yours is pretty impressive, but based on what you've given me as a response to my video, you got a long way to go to get on my level, my friend. Hey, you're the best duelist in the world? I'm pretty sure I just proved you wrong on that one, son. Enjoy that EA money. Hopefully, you're not foolish enough to make rant videos about shitty companies and their business practices while still gainfully employed with one. Well, you could, but it'd be pretty fucking stupid of you to do. For even more details on this matter, there's a link in the description to my personal message board where the exposure is further documented. The great exposer has spoken.
So according to him, people who work at a company are not allowed to say anything about the company in a negative way. If you work for a company, you can't say anything that you don't like about the company or the bad things that a company does. Not just your company, but every other company. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense at all.
He just continues to leave out that little boycott detail, doesn't he? When you've gotten to the point of calling for a boycott of a company, it's gone beyond just saying what you don't like about them. Now you've gone to the level of wanting that company to be affected in such a way that they change how they do business. And I'm pretty goddamn sure working for them isn't going to achieve that desired effect. And about simply making rant videos, I even said that you could, meaning that you would still be factually correct in pointing out their bad business practices. However, you could easily be called out on your hypocrisy for working for one of these companies that essentially does the same thing that the other companies that you rant about are doing, which is why it would be still stupid of you to make those videos. It's not that fucking hard to understand such simple logic, yet the mighty BlackBusterCritic doesn't seem to get this. Or as I said before, he actually does and is just playing stupid in order to save face. I just can't believe how horrible of a response that was. Given the caliber and pedigree of the individual I was dealing with, that was one of the worst responses / commentaries I've ever seen. And I've seen some pretty fucking horrific ones. I'm sorry to say this, BBC, but you can consider that winning streak of yours to officially be broken. I've laid you out with the mighty factual slam, put my foot on you with your shoulders to the mat, and the referee has counted 1, 2, 3. Thanks for doing the job for me, buddy boy. By all means, keep giving me more fail material to work with, because I'm loving this shit. The exposure I've displayed here is biblical, and it tastes so fucking exquisite. Also, go ahead and post this on your Blackbuster Files account to further help me document your own exposure. You won't have to worry about me deleting any of my videos about you, even if somehow they get effectively countered and destroyed. Because I actually admit my mistakes and will leave them up to expose myself. Like I said before, I'm an equal opportunity expose artist. Pretty much the only way these videos will go bye-bye is if one of your little butthurt, sloped-headed fanboys decides to falsely flag it down. In the meantime, you should probably go sit in the corner after this ravaging exposure I've unleashed on you. Consider thyself, once again, exposed. Well, I guess all that's left to say is, I guess now it's official that the only individual on the internet that can offer me a challenge is this individual. However, I haven't found a reason to go after him. At least, not yet anyway. The great exposer has spoken.